Hello and welcome back to Let Supreme Goes to Black Parade. We are up to Mission 9, Arcane Sanctum. We're almost done with this campaign now, and this is a very good mission along the lines of every other mission in this campaign. Hasn't been a single bad one so far. Now, my apologies about the last video, the last Patriot mission. I completely goofed up when I scheduled the premiere. I accidentally put it to 1:30 a.m. in the middle of the night instead of 1:30 p.m. So I've lived in the States for over 15 years, and I guess I still haven't gotten used to the AM PM. Well, I know it, I just forgot to double check, and it's so easy to just mistake one letter there. I guess what it proves is the military time of 13:30 would never have been mistaken. So I guess that's proving that's a better system to use. Anyway, I triple checked ahead of this premiere, so this definitely should be the right time if you're tuning in for the first showing, that is. Now, before we get into today's video or today's mission, we are actually going to load up a save from the brand, because a viewer by name of Pupunus, I think, something like that, pointed out something that I wasn't even aware of, and I did not show you when we did the mission for the brand. I'm now in the underground factory section, and this is just above the entrance to the sewers, because there's something in the sewers that I never even knew about. And I don't know really how I wasn't aware of it. Here, this pit with zombies, I said that there was nothing of interest down there, but there is. Definitely. Up here? So I think you can drop down here without triggering that alert. Down here, there's a section that I've never been to. Honestly. You can drop in here and go through a pipe that takes you to the canal right underneath the bridge outside the main manor entrance. I never discovered this. I don't know how I didn't, because it's not a very hidden area. But that's another, I think maybe the fourth or fifth way to exit or enter the sewers. And I would have totally taken this in my run, because I could have, when I came back from the manor, could have just dropped into the canal and easily made my way to the sewers, because that's where I needed to go. So, thank you very much for pointing that out. And yeah, if there's anything that you guys see that I don't show, like routes or pickables or readables or anything like that, then please let me know. That goes for all of my videos. With that, we are instead going to load up the end of Jaws of Darkness here, and we are going to watch the briefing for the next mission.
Now that I have both Aldria's Demise and Teidir's Signet, getting the last item should be relatively easy, as hopefully I won't even have to steal it. The Hand Brotherhood has a sanctum in the city, in the old Highwatch Castle. They mostly use it to study the peculiar telluric energies of the city, but it is also there that the archmage DrKubiac is buried, and where his magical amulet is kept. I need to tell the mages that Azaran the Cruel is about to partake in a dangerous ritual, and they will hopefully heed my warning and intervene. Since I already have the other two items needed to deflect the spell, the mages won't have to look for them, and that will make the whole thing much easier. There's one major obstacle, though. Convincing the archmage in charge, Iarodo, will be no easy task, and there is no way the guards will let me through the gates. A servant I bribed whispered to me that the archmage is very callous and is more interested in his experiments than anything else. Maybe if I explain things right and show him the items, he will listen to me. Getting to him will be hard, as the castle is under constant watch by guards, as well as the mages themselves. Once inside, I'll have to make my way to the castle's uppermost tower. I don't like this one bit, but this is the most logical plan I could come up with. Let's hope this works.
So, you need to convince Archmage Iarodo to stop Azaran, but getting to him will be difficult. Break into Highwatch Castle and find him in his quarters at the top of the keep, the highest tower. As tempting as it is, stealing valuables that belong to the mages or their men is the worst idea you can imagine, so avoid doing so. It goes without saying that the mages will not help you if you hurt them, their servants or their guards. Don't injure these people in any way. So that means we can't blackjack them, right? You're so close to removing the brand, now isn't the time to falter, no matter how strong the urge. Don't kill anyone. So those two seem like they are silly, that they're two separate objectives, but that's going to obviously become apparent why later, because one of these is going to get cancelled. Return to your entry point when you are done. Alright, so obviously it's not going to be as easy as it's set up to be in the briefing or in the objectives here. It's the 9th mission out of 10 after all. It's not going to become suddenly super easy just going in and convincing a mage. So there's going to be a pretty big but obvious twist here, where we are going to have to steal the main item, and we're going to steal other things too, and we're going to be able to blackjack, not of course for this run, but many of these are going to get cancelled and you're going to get some additional objectives. So, spoiler alert if you haven't played it. If you haven't played the mission, then what are you doing watching? Go play it. Now, this mission should be able to be Supreme Ghosted fairly straightforward. There aren't any really difficult moves or areas. There are some tense locations where there's overlapping patrols, but nothing that waiting it out wouldn't deal with, and most rooms have some level of shadows at least. So yeah, not too many extravagant things we have to worry about. A couple of smaller areas maybe. There are some keys that we're going to have to return, so a little bit of backtracking. It's a very, very well designed mission. Very intricate, and there's not just one castle, but 2 castles. So, and they're kind of different in the way that they're designed too, which is kind of neat. So yeah, let's start it up here. So we start with, normal items. We do have the sword and the blackjack too, even though they're not shown. But we have Taedir's Signet and Aldria's Demise. Give these 2 artifacts to Archmage Iarodo, so the mages of the Hand Brotherhood can take action against Azaran. Alright, we also have a tip here. The informant you bribed is offering additional information. It isn't free, naturally. So this one says, the doors to the upper floors of the old Highwatch Castle are locked tight during dinner, making most of the castle inaccessible. Not the keep, though, as it is still guarded during dinner time. So, not a very useful tip, because you're going to discover this on your own very easily when you get into the Highwatch Castle. You need a key to access most of that establishment, but the keep is going to be accessible. 2 main entrances in there. So we don't need to buy that, of course. Alright. So let's make a real save. Down here. And let's look at our map. So we have a full city view first, where you have an old castle. That's where the mages are found, so they have taken over the Highwatch Castle, which used to be sort of an old rampart or fortress that protected probably the administration of the city. So they've taken that over, and that's not something that everybody likes, so we're going to have some readables that explore that topic. And then there's a small castle just sort of north of the moat that goes around the old one, with a bridge in between, but you can't access either of those castles via the bridge to begin with. You can later on. You have some streets in the north, and then the water provides access in some ways. And we start in the northwest, and it says keep. The Iarodo should be at the top of the keep here. And then you do have the old castle basement and first floor. I'll cover that once I get there. And then the small castle also has 2 sort of 3 levels, but 2 maps for it. So yeah, we'll take a look at those once we get there. Okay. So you can see there's some fireworks. This is a sunset mission, so it technically is a daytime or right before nighttime. Nobody in the streets will alert us at this point. So here we have a guard.
The setting sun should bring me enough darkness that I can slip inside the castle walls unnoticed.
Alright. So we're on the corner of Plain Street and Cokewald Street. Right here. In this little area there is a moss arrow. Right there. We'll take a look at these guys a little bit later. There's a lot of festivities going on right now in the streets. And some cool animations that are shown. So we'll spend a little bit of time looking at that. Come on, show us what you got. Alright, nice. There's apples flying here. Or are they apples? They look like apples. Guy's talking. There's a little guy. They seem to be having fun here. Here's a flame spitter. Some jars over here. They seem to be involved in a very animated discussion here. That's nice to see. Okay, here's some readables. The Most Humble Confederation of Rumpleballers presents the annual Rumpleball Challenge Cup. Games will take place at Hightown Square with schedule as follows. Fierce Day, Eastport Teamsters versus Lampfire Hills Coaches, 3rd hour. Darksmoke Coal Miners versus Dayport Dockers, 5th hour. Highwatch Knights versus Downtown Sellers, 3rd hour. Downlock Rogues versus North Quarter Grunts, 5th hour. These are the sort of the mascots here, I guess. I'm not sure if I would want to be a seller. That doesn't sound too flattering. Hammer's Day, semifinals 3rd and 5th hours. Baron's Day, grand finals at 3rd hour. Can't miss that. Does anyone know what Rumpleball actually is? Like, is there any information on how that's played? Or any theories, maybe? Hear all, hear all. Whereas public meetings together in diverse parts of Highwatch under the pretense of matches for sweel tossings are by experience found to tend many times to the disturbance of the public peace, and are commonly accompanied with evils, such as gaming, drinking, swearing, quarreling, and other dissolute malpractices, to the great dishonor of the city, and also exposing her good citizens to the dangers of the plagues and diseases bore by these foul beasts. For prevention thereof, be it ordained by His Highness the Lord Mayor, by and with the advice of, and consent of his burgomasters and aldermen, that from henceforth there shall be no public meetings within Highwatch, upon matches made for sweel tossings, and that every such assembly of people, for the end and purposes aforesaid, is hereby declaring to be an unlawful assembly, and shall be so adjudged, deemed and taken to be and punished. All lawmen, constables, watch captains, and other men of peacekeeping within their several limits and jurisdiction are hereby required to suppress, hinder, and disperse all such meetings. Thus signed and declared Messer Rind, Lord Mayor of Highwatch. Sweel tossing, huh? Is that sort of a illegal activity? Kind of like cockfighting? Or maybe there was like fish throwing or something like that in some communities. I'm not sure if there's... I know horseshoe throwing, tossing is kind of a thing in the South, in America. Come, come, come. Flares, rope arrows, flash bombs. All is yours if you have the coin. For as much I can't give credits, come back when you are a little richer. Okay. Here we go. Here's the... This is the old castle right here, and this is the small castle you can see north of it. Alright. Let's go back up here. Make a little shortcut across. Listen to a conversation.
What do you think they're doing to him in Crackslaugh?
Whatever they're doing, the wall deserves it.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind giving a bloody manicure to the old boss myself. I still have nightmares.
Me neither. But you think we can trust the new guy?
Raputo? Builder's mercy, no. But you can't cross him neither.
Ain't that the story of our lives?
Hope it's not the clap.
Alright. So this is a door that we're actually going to end up leaving through. The
What's
very,
he
very end.
doing? Perhaps he's just lost or late.
Find him quite
Down here is a silver candlestick, but it's lit. So that's actually 1 out of 3 items of such nature that we have to skip in this mission. It's worth 25. So the first piece of loot we have to skip. Perfect Supreme busted already. Alright. Now here, we should be able to
Did she tell me?
show you at least. There's a way of... Should be a way of getting into the small castle from here.
What did she tell me?
Here. Like that. That is a short and sweet, easy way to get into the small castle. And most of the doors in the small castle are not locked. Now, you can't get any further because you come to the wall here, and the gate into the old castle on this side are closed. You might be able to rope arrow and climb across the roof here. I haven't tried that. That might be a possibility. So, anyway.
What did she tell me? Bread, coins, clothes.
These guys are everybody's favorite, aren't they? I found a lot of positive feedback about the festivities in town here. Just made people smile. I didn't really, you know, pay that much attention to it. I'm more of a straight-to-business kind of guy. But I do appreciate it. Once people point it out, I kind of like, okay, let me take a look. I like this guy here. The posture there isn't good. He shouldn't be standing like that for a long time.
No, you are shameful. How could you do this to me in the middle of dinner? Grant me the courage not to recoil from your affairs.
Here we go. Alright, so here are some instruments that are cool. Now, who in chat can tell me what these are called?
So generous lately.
The instruments, that is. Give you guys 10 seconds.
You could ever imagine.
I hope you kept some for
So it's
me.
kind of a guitar
Terrans
with
have
a
intellect like that.
turning, spinning
Someday
thing.
they'll pay.
Alright, time's up. So those are called hurdy-gurdies, if I'm not mistaken.
To think our time
And they're kind of a medieval,
Oh,
simplified guitar.
Did you hear the commotion this morning?
Yes, it was dreadful.
Hurdy-gurdies.
These nighttime tales.
It sounds like what the Swedish chef from Muppet Show would say. Hurdy-gurdy.
Builder, grant me the courage not to recoil from your affairs.
And here's a guard that... Oh, wow, I did not see that pushing away the arm there before.
I gave some beggar more money than you could ever imagine.
How nice of you. And I thought you were cool like your father.
Okay, and here we got some more people. I like this synchronization of these guys. Now, does anyone know what those hats are called?
Is your business
They're typical, you know, fancy headwear from the medieval times. So those are called hennins, I think. Hennin. Some more playing and dancing. I'm not sure if what those two guys in the background there, if that's called dancing or what it is, but people are enjoying themselves. Good to see, good to see. This guy, however, looks a little shifty, doesn't he? Okay. Here's a little storage area with nothing of interest, really. Here you can see into part of the small castle. So we've now moved our way east, and we're now past most of the festive areas. Here is a red goblet, and there's a readable. Lord Forsyth, know that your devoted servant has many ears in streets and alleyways, and knows many, many people who could help you for the right price. There are stories about a witch in the river district capable of turning milk and transforming wine into vinegar, and who commands her fat flies and villainous toads to fulfill her darkest desires, all thanks to her impious necromancy, which would be, in your servant humble's opinion, an excellent means to ruin Lady Shearcraft's banquet in a much less risky manner, both for you and I, so your devoted servant wouldn't have to use these dangerous Zanzian poisons you ordered. Would his lordship want to be put in contact with this witch? Respectuously, at your service, R. Caddock, Caddock and Daughters. Right. Nothing here. Moving on to the next section. Nice bonfire, I like that. Okay, so here's another instrument. I don't know if this has an actual name, but it's like almost like a jukebox, medieval jukebox. So all you have to do is spin it. Okay, I think maybe there is a moss arrow or something in one of these patches of grass. Back here. So I think that there are some water arrows in different areas. I think there's about 3 or 4 of them in the canal. Not that we're going to need those. Here's a moss arrow. There it was. And there's the water arrow. Okay. Alright, so this is a door into the painter's house. You can pick it, but I'm not going to do that because you don't need to. Nice. Doesn't seem like a lot of people appreciate their music. There's nobody listening. Alrighty. So here, Killian Stanton, Bailiff of Knave's Ditch. So that is a locked door. We can't pick it either. We can mantle up here. Should be able to.
Furthermore, I'm telling her to leave me alone. With all due respect, sir, you can barely stand.
I don't think I want to trigger that right now. I want to go over here first. Get the loot here. Stack of copper coins, stack of silver coins, 1, 2, 3 coins, and then a very sneaky coin down here. Total 29. Thought there was some loot that I missed again. I'm not keeping up with the program here recently. There should be a another goblet over here somewhere. There we go. Silver goblet. $41. That's what we should have. Moss arrow here as well. Then we can listen to their conversation.
And furthermore, I'm telling you to leave me alone.
With all due respect, sir, you can barely stand. Let me walk you to your bedchamber.
Keep your dirty paws off my silk tunic, you shriveled, pagan, smelly, tough and anarchist cave dweller. I need to be drunk to write my masterpieces. So do me a favor and scurry off. I am your lord.
Hey, whatever you say.
Alright. Is that how you really sound when you're drunk, Marbleman? Some very good voice acting in this campaign overall, I must say. So here's the painter's house then. And the only thing really of interest here is this purse. This is a room where you can't do anything. Strange how we didn't hear that or alert to that. Maybe Marbleman only creates his thief masterpieces when he's had a drink or two. Oh. I actually didn't know that he was coming out here. Let me show you what's going on here. Sorry, Marbleman, I don't mean to pick on you, but I think you can handle it. So down here, it's just the downstairs room. Nothing really of interest down here, and this is the door that we could have picked up above. Right, so if we go in here now, come to Sergil's house, and he doesn't move at all, but he has a letter for us to read. Dear Ma, finally managed to buy a flat. This place ain't got any of these fancy electrical lights, but it's better than the damp rooms of the River District Inn. It's a bit of a pain to get to. I need to go through a few small courtyards before reaching my door. The flat has a nice garden overlooking the castle moat. It's shared between tenants, and there's always drinks and fun card games going on. Ma, I really think this is it this time. I'm done with shady deals in warehouses' backyards. A friend of mine introduced me to some weird printing company in dire need of a good grease hand. I can't tell you what paper that place prints, as I forgot the name, and besides we don't know a damn thing about our proprietor other than he seems to be a complete lunatic, and is apparently related to the great families. My guess is his relatives didn't want to see him tarnish the family crest, but didn't want him to rot in Grimstock's asylums either, so they bought him a nice little print house to keep him busy. Well, I can't complain about it. The pay is actually really good, and we're always cackling at his antics. Yesterday I told them the pagans were able to read our thoughts via old magics, and the only way to stop this was to punch oneself in the terrywags. And he actually did it, the utter madman. So, the terrywag is, you know, the scrotum, essentially. Tallywags, I think, is a more common use of the name. Not much else to say, really. I hope everything is alright at home. With love, your Sergil. Okay. So now, if we head out here... I can walk across. Here. Before we go here, though, we jump up to this area. Careful not to get caught by that guard. Here is a purse. 126, worth 55. And here's a readable about the purse. Since you botched that job like a taffing cretin, you pathetic fool and bloody imbecile, have fun retrieving your meager cut. Do you think your arm is long enough to reach the purse? Don't show your stupid face ever again, and you better pray I never hear from you. So I guess that would be somebody on this side. Alright.
Good thing most of the guards are having dinner. I don't know how I could have entered this place otherwise.
So this is then the entrance to the library. 2 library windows right here. So we're now in the far northeastern section. Warnada can actually go in this way. But I want to show you where this goes. So here's a locked door, one of those that we can't open. Let's head downstairs. So this is a storage room. So this would be in this area right here. And in here you have a noisemaker arrow. You have a healing potion. What else do you have in here? Oh yeah. Up here you have a disruption bomb. And there's a smoke bomb on the table as well. So some equipment if you want that. This takes you out to the courtyard. I'm not going to go out there right now, but here are horses. So, I think that almost counts as alerts. So yeah, that's another way in. I wouldn't be comfortable with those horse alerts there. Wait. Guard in the distance. Let's see. So there is an open window to the bailiff's house. So let's shoot a rope into this area. Drop down. You can actually go up here and shoot it. Can do that. Here's another rope arrow. Right over there. You can also go up on the dock and shoot it very easily. Alright. In the bailiff's house we have a fire poker. We have the key to his door, which we don't need, and we have a newspaper. The City Herald, 9/29/33. The last bonfire festival is officially launched. The populace of Highwatch was disappointed to hear the news of the bonfires being prohibited by Messer Rind on account of risks of fire. The argument of the Great Fire of 782 was especially prevalent in Messer Rind's rationale. But after enough pushback from the festival organizers, the Lord Mayor decided to relent and begrudgingly allow bonfires this year after all. The festival, which is centuries old, begins with 2 days of festivities in the streets of Highwatch, where musicians, street performers, artists, and jesters flock to the streets for a jolly good time, and on the 3rd day after the sun sets, light bonfires all across the quarter. Lady Calendra, nice, burgomaster of the River District, was quoted by the Herald as saying, "I am glad the good Messer Rind allowed the last bonfire festival to take place this year. It is an important part of Highwatch's culture that sets it apart from the other quarters and districts of the city. We denizens of Highwatch are proud of our heritage and our customs. Father Lillard, however, is not very happy with the news," he told the Herald. As with every year, Messer Rind and the Highwatch Lord Mayors before him makes the mistake of allowing this heretical festival to take place. In truth, there have been many instances of overt worship of the trickster that were observed by proud members of the Order of the Hammer. We cannot tolerate such obscenity in the streets of the quarter. We shall keep an eye on the goings-on during the festival and chastise anyone who partakes in pagan worship. Be warned, heathens. Rumpleball. We remind our dear readers that the annual Rumpleball Challenge Cup is taking place from Fierce Day to Baron's Day. Last year's winners, the Downtown Cellarers, so they actually won, will defend their title and perhaps even claim a double. Buy your tickets now. This week's bear fights. Patapoof, Vlad, 1735, Nipson Shut Up, 2529, and Dour Olaf on Morn's Day. Sounds like fun. I don't know what I would choose between bear fights and Rumpleball. Oh, that's a tough pick. Can we do both? I always had trouble with this one. The window is very thin, so when you get on top... and now I overcompensate the other way. Oh my gosh. So the reason I wanted to go up here was to show you that there are 2 water arrows. Let's drop down here then. Okay. Now, horrifically well-hidden pieces of loot here are some coins. There's sort of a water pour-out, I guess, from the sewers here, and on the ground below is I think there are 3 coins here. No, 2 coins. And there's one more coin on top of this little island that we can't, I think, take from below. So we have to get up there. Those were the last pieces of loot I found in the mission, obviously. Let's see, if we go this way, we just come back to this area here. There's nothing really of interest there. So here, this is the waste from the toilet. That's a toilet chute right there. Before they had actual plumbing, right? Here's a ladder. So now we're on the bridge between the two castles. I'm going up here because you can make a jump here and get the last coin there. 204. So if you didn't find that on your first playthrough, I don't blame you. Now we can get spotted or heard here swimming. So I want to be a little bit careful. This is where the lit candlestick is, so that we have to skip. So we're now moving this direction. Let's see, up here. So you can hear a guard. It's difficult to get up here without a guard here seeing you. Here's a moss arrow. I don't think there's anything else up here. And I think up that canal end there's a water arrow too. So now we're moving to the southwestern area of town. Here we can mantle up. Here's a bottle of wine. 254. And this is actually a way to get inside. If you do that. Kind of want to show you the ways that I've found to get inside. This grate isn't open, but you can climb up here. This door is open already. So this is actually in one of the middle levels of the bath area on the far west. It's in this room right here. And this is locked. So we don't need to go there. Up here is a moss arrow in this doorway, and this is an area that is sealed off. And let's go in here. So now we're actually in the basement. So we're coming up on the docks, on the bank of the docks here. So, in the basement, you have a wine cellar where we can't get into right now. We can basically only go in this area and out to the courtyard. The boiler room is sealed off, the labs, and the kitchen is sealed off as well, up to the dining room and the wine cellar. So we're limited to where we can go right now. But there are various ways of getting to and from this floor once we have access via a key that we'll get a little bit later. There's a patroller here, though. Here are two readables. Here is the list of deliveries expected this week. As always, make sure to note which of these have been received. So they are getting grains, dried fruit, sugarcane syrup, blank scrolls, astral rock, incense, decorative carpets, scented candles, and pipe weed. From different places: Syric, Soniport, Bonn, Roxburgh, PR Wallstrom, which is, I think, from shipping and receiving in Thief 2, I believe. And then from, you know, the feud between Bonn and Cyric, I guess they started thinking they would get these from Cyric, but then changed their mind. Succubus Kiss Candles and Oils is a company that provides this. And then Amir Al-Azri is a gift. Al-Azri, is that a character from one of Milan's missions? Maybe Rose Garden? There was an establishment there with a person by name that had sort of a Middle Eastern sounding name, so maybe that's him. And they're getting different amounts and they're received at different times. Guards, I would like to remind you that the docks shift also includes lunch and dinner. The docks must be watched at all times, lest last month's incident happens again. Captain Regalio. So that's the captain from the Mage Towers mission in Thief Gold, right? This month's docks shifts is as follows. 1st to 7th, Jeeb. 8th to 15th, Weiler. 16th to 23rd, Klebe. And 24th to 30th, Faradoc. Faradoc is from T2X, right? He's one of the ones that end up becoming a smuggler, if my memory serves. Here's also a door that requires a key. Let's go in here. This is the smoke bomb there. This is into the wine cellar. We can't go. Some storage rooms here. Painting that we saw from Mission 2. Here's a mine. Rotten meat. Maybe there isn't a guard here right now. I thought there was an archer. This is into the boiler room. Can't go there now either. Let's make a real save before we head into the courtyard proper. Alrighty. So we now came up through this exit. It's a very convenient exit because it's in the middle of the courtyard, so you can access different areas from here. And it's not close to any guards, and there's a dark area just here. Show you some things. This is over to where the horses are.
Hello?
Here's a moss arrow. This is a dead end area as well. So here you got some balls of hay. Go up to this area as well. These are doors into the meditation rooms. They're locked. Back here is a moss arrow.
You're dead, pal!
Here they got some smokable stuff. Statue. This is the main doors. You don't need to go in there. So I think we're gonna head up a different way. Those double doors there take you into the baths. Whoa. Getting slowdowns here. See if I can free that up real quick. I'll show you also over here.
Someone behind me?
There's a water arrow in there.
All quiet now. Must have been rats.
And then you can go up this way as well. Takes you up to the bath area. Little dead end section here. And there's a staircase up here. But the easiest way to get up, I think, oh, you didn't need that. Let's not make those noises. It's just like that. And I would say the best place to enter. Gorgeous mission, I think. These are supply. Shoot.
Iarodo's quarters should be at the top of this tower.
There's some food. There is a healing fruit, I think. Yeah, in this little vine. And then we can actually enter. So let's take a look at this map a little bit more. So most of the map is where we have explored right now, the upper and lower courtyards. But you can access the library, the meditation rooms, the gatehouse, which is not accessible now, the baths, then the kitchen through the panels that I just showed you, and also then the upper floors of the keep in this area. Now we're going to come in, coming in through this door right here. And there's a dining room and a shrine, which is where the main objective is located. That we'll get instructions to do soon. But right now, there's nothing we can do here because we're not allowed to pick anything up or blackjack anybody, or we can't go anywhere we don't have a key for. So we're a little bit locked off right now. That's okay. Down here, you have all the mages eating. Feasting, I should say. And they will disappear and get transported elsewhere a little bit later. This is the main entrance over here. So we're going to go this way. Down here takes you to the kitchen, which we don't have a key to get into right now. Not going to go in here. This is locked. We are going to go in here.
Hey.
But before we go there, we're going to go to the very top level. A flash bomb. Bed chambers. Here's a strength potion, and here's a readable. Adept Cordato. You are a fine adept, but I need to remind you that practicing magic outside of the castle walls is strictly forbidden. Doubly so when it's to amuse the populace by launching fire spells in the sky. I admit this is all very beautiful and adequate, but this is also quite dangerous for the Brotherhood. And do not think I did not recognize you. You have a lot to learn in the art of stealth, my boy. Mage Olehoris. Olehoris? Yeah. Now this strength potion we are going to take. And you might be wondering, why does he need a strength potion? Let's see. We're going to go through here right now. There's some loot here, but we can't take that. We're going to go through here. Oh. I don't think I ever got hurt by that before. Listen to a conversation right now.
What's all that commotion in the basement? Got an intruder?
No. Well, kind of. One of these mages lowered some kind of monster in one of the laboratories and locked it inside.
What? Are you tapping me?
Wish I was. But the thing inside does these really chilling noises. Gives me the creeps. And I didn't even see it. We're not even allowed to patrol the corridor. Mages said we wouldn't stand a chance against the creature if it escapes.
That's sick!
So there was 2 guards down below. One of them keeps standing, and the other guy starts patrolling, but stops intermittently. We don't need to go down there right now. We're instead going to take a look at a few things on this floor. Let's read this. To Mage Oneviar, residing at Highwatch Castle, from Mage Tikor, may this missive reach you post-haste. We did it. We found the way to the place underneath where our brethren buried the Talisman of Fire all those decades ago. It took Archmage Ihion many moons of symbiosis with the treacherous rivers of lava flowing underneath the city to find the location of the Talisman. And believe me when I write this, it is located inside the sunken city of Yor, more ancient than anything found in this wretched part of the world. Now that we know where it is, the Inner Circle is thinking of mounting an expedition to retrieve it. This is very exciting news, brother. I sincerely hope Archmage Iarodo will allow you to join us on this quest. Alright. That's cool. It's the event of the Lost City, right? Let's read this. Mage Houghton, I already have to deal with Adept Omware's incompetence, but you have gone too far this time. Where did you find this creature? And more importantly, how could you possibly imagine it was a good idea to lure it into our sanctum? It took us 6 hours to trap this beast in the laboratory, and our good alchemist Dragon is now locked out of his workplace. Now, granted, it is a most interesting specimen indeed, but it is much too dangerous. Imagine if it were to break free and wreak havoc on the grounds. Nay, better get rid of that thing before it slays us all. Iarodo. What could this thing be? Let's head in here. Go upstairs. So this is sort of Iarodo's tower, leading up to the top of the keep. So here's some more loot. Here's a readable. The City Tribune. 9/29/33. Infamous crime lord DeWall arrested. DeWall, the well-known city warden, was arrested yesterday by the Baron's police with the help of the Order of the Hammer. The assault was personally led by Captain Pearsall, who told the Tribune, "Today we celebrate a great victory. Thanks to our relentless efforts, we have triumphed over crime." To your relentless efforts? Right. DeWall and his men were the plague of the city, and rest assured that every criminal will suffer the same fate as long as I'm in command. More on page 6. Gems of Sarnath cut into small pieces and found on the black market. Lord Solace, owner of the fabulous gems, discovered 3 months ago that his precious gems were gone when he came back from a banquet organized by vase collectors Lord Randall in downtown. The case was so mysterious, it was dropped 2 days after the theft, but now a respectable diamond cutter from Upper Darksmoke claims he has clearly identified small diamond fragments as being, without a shadow of doubt, the gems of Sarnath. Cut in small pieces for the black market. More on page 9. Shadow of Doubt, Gems of Sarnath. Lots of loot in here, but I can't take any now. Okay. So this is up to Iarodo's main tower. This door here, we are going to block with the strength potion. Like such. Mainly because this door, if it's closed or open and unblocked, is going to get locked by one of the main captain guards. And we have to then pick his key from his pocket in order to unlock it. And although we do need that key, there's another copy on a table in the dining room. that we can return exactly where it was instead of to his route. So I want to instead block the door so that this door will actually remain unlocked. That'll aid our progress quite a lot here. Okay, so here's also a lot of loot and a letter. Most esteemed archmage, once more I beg of you to heed my plea and serve the city that houses you and your brethren. You are not without knowing that our noble baron is still waging war against Blackbrook and its decadent degenerates, a war that has been going on and off for a few years now, and Highwatch Castle is a very important strategic and defensive location in case of a siege. By having purchased this castle many years ago, which was in retrospect a blatant case of negligence from the Highwatch administration, you have effectively deprived the east side of the city of one of its most important strongholds. Many sieges were laid here and many men perished trying to break the walls, but never has the castle fallen, and today I am proud to say I was part of its history of invulnerability. I do not doubt the abilities of my baron as a military genius and a cunning strategist, but my long career as a commander has taught me that you can never be too cautious, and Blackbrook is known for its morally reprehensible tactics. Furthermore, the Baron himself appointed me Commandeer of Defense, or Commander of Defense, before going to war, and it is my duty to ensure the city can defend itself as effectively as possible. I ask you again to henceforth relinquish possession of Highwatch Castle in exchange of a substantial donation to your brotherhood. I am in the possession of a few volumes of magics I acquired during my young years that may be of interest to you as well, but I shall only offer them once the castle is mine and my men occupy it once more. Surely you can understand this is not a personal request, but an official demand. Thusly signed, Commander Nathan Leo de Veer, Fins, I still don't know how to pronounce that, Fins, the 3rd, Quarter of Highwatch, 833. Okay, so they're not wanted where they are. Alright, up here, here's Iarodo. We won't go there right now, instead we'll take a look at this. Certificate of Ownership. It is hereby certified that 2 certain castles situated within the Quarter of Highwatch are now registered in accordance with the property registration decree of the year 649 in the name of Iarodo ibn Harut, approved and sealed under my hand the 7th day of Sikitas of the year 821. Thomas Strilly, 1st Clerk, Highwatch Registry, under the approval of Master Rind, Lord Mayor of Highwatch. Okay, here are some more readables. To Archmage Carino and the mages of the Inner Circle, something must be done about our brethren of past who formed this group known as the Falstaff Wizards. That's a wizard group from Midnight Murkbell, part of Kalendra's legacy. They operate in this shoddy quarter people called Murkbell, and I'm almost certain they practice dark arts there, in addition to using their magics for lucrative goals, which is, may I remind you, strictly forbidden by our doctrines. Such scandalous behavior is a breach to the tenets of our noble brotherhood. Forget this harmless laughingstock troglodyte Azaran for a while, and please concentrate on the matter of importance. Alright. Commander Fins, you do my humble self great honor in addressing your request to me personally, with balanced respect with authority here. I sympathize entirely with your concern for the defense of our great city, one of which we are mere guests, but we have made this fortress our home, and we are incentivized to protect it with our lives. We retain a contingent of trained guards, many of whom remain from before our purchase. Bastion has been transformed into a sanctuary for magic. The bodies of our powerful forebears are interned here, appeal to our legal footing, deed, and our ability to protect the castle ourselves. So I guess this is a draft of a letter that he is sending back. Having to bow and scrape to this Commander Fins is intolerable. We are on solid legal footing. The Baron and his lackeys have no recourse to deny it. But I have no doubts that our rights would evaporate were we not to maintain decorum in dealing with this inner circle. It would not be so bad if his pretense of territorial defense were not such a paper-thin excuse to force us from Highwatch Castle. Since our arrival, this bastion has been transformed into a sanctuary for magic. The bodies of our powerful forebears are interned here. Does he imagine that on sight of blackguards we would be so overcome with fear that we would scurry like mice from this fortress? We would conjure the eternal fire itself to scourge all of Highwatch before we relinquished it. They are not wanting to give it up. Okay. Now here's a door. Focus on that a little bit more later. Now, make a save here. See what Iarodo has to say.
An invader, not only of our keep, but of my sanctum. Who are you?
A talking statue, again. My identity is of no importance. But please, you have to hear me out.
I have little time for the sycophants among my own people, let alone some common interloper. Do you know who I am? I'll have you removed immediately.
And here I thought you, the wisest of mages, would listen. Was I wrong? Azaran. This name rings a bell. I'll bet it does. Do you know he's here, in the city, conducting the trickster knows what, and that innocent people are being used as his playthings?
Be glad your groveling does not yet offend me. Indeed, your fear of Azaran is amusing. If even the lowlives of the sick city know his name, he has surely lost all capacity to do harm.
He has not, I assure you. I was supposed to steal an item from him, but it was a trap, and now my life is being siphoned. I need your help in bringing him down. I've heard your kind hates necromancers.
Steal an item? You imagined my heart would soften for a petty thief? One whose greed has consigned him to a dismal fate? If Azaran were a threat of any significance, do you think he would waste his hours contriving traps for nameless scum like you?
Do you really think I went through all this trouble to get these items as a prank? Look, this necromancer is highly dangerous, and I'm telling the truth.
You compound your intrusion and sniveling with this foul desecration of these sacred icons? Enough! You ought to die like a dog for your transgressions. No doubt the sentence is long overdue.
So now we got new objectives. 3 of them are cancelled. And it says, damn, Archmage Iarodo is a stubborn one and leaves you no choice. Steal DrKubiac's amulet. You went through an ordeal to get these mage relics, and Iarodo threatens to kill you for it. Sack their castle for 2,500 loot, and we have to return to our starting point. So we no longer have to worry about stealing anything, and obviously hurting somebody, but that we can't do anyway. So now, tons of guards are going to come in. And they're going to come up and station themselves in this room, and then some of them are going to come up here even.
Hello? Show yourself.
So how are we going to get the loot down there?
Guess it was nothing.
Well, if we go back to this one, if we run down there right after we talk to him, there still isn't enough time to get all of it and run back upstairs without getting at least a first alert from those guards. I've not been able to do that. However, if we simply do this, it should be possible.
An invader.
Lock the door! Search the area! We can't let the intruder get away!
Hello?
Okay, it should be possible to do that if we are faster.
Lock the door! Search the area! We can't let the intruder get away!
There we go. Now we can go in here. There are 5 pieces of loot down there. Do that. Here's the main guard. Now he has a copy, as you can see, of the Old Castle Master Key. There are 3 of those copies. But we are not going to take this one because we can't return it to his belt. Instead, we are going to go down. Here you can see. Take the strength potion. Now this door is not even locked.
Well, so much for that. I guess I need to steal this damned amulet after all.
We can go in here now. Now we can start looting things. Took the rope, yep. And we got the loot.
Hey, how come there's always a thief when we're on guard duty? I mean, we're obviously the best, so how come?
Well, this time the thief didn't steal anything. At least, not yet. And we know he's still in the vicinity. Couldn't have gone far. Just have to find him before he gets away, and we get our sorry hides fired again.
The last job we landed was so perfect. Such a shame the red stone got stolen, and the boss got arrested.
We're gonna lose that one too if something gets stolen and he escapes, you idiot. Come on, stop talking and help me search.
There. There's 8 pieces of loot in this room here. 984. So we can't avoid triggering their patrol. But I don't think they come up here. There is, I think there's a mage maybe that comes up here. So now all those mages that were eating are now released or transported elsewhere and whatnot. Okay. So this room we've been to.
Arrested anyone lately?
Here are 3 stacks of gold coins. 1,059. Now we're going to go downstairs and visit areas that we haven't been to. So yeah, that method up there is the best way that I've found to actually avoid having to deal with those guards. He stays up there. The mage. And the mages do have some different forms of attack than they did in the original game, especially the water mage. Okay, let's head in here and read this. Thrice now I had visions of a threat looming over the city. Chaos, death, and hideous things coming from beneath the ground. It makes me uneasy. Could it be a cause for alarm? The common man, especially here in the city, fears the trickster, as he is entrenched in the folklore and the collective mind of the denizens. And yet, no scholarly proof of half these tales have we. He is a force to be reckoned with, but he is but a mere mortal, a demigod, and nothing more. I must meditate on this some more. If I am to bring this matter before my brothers, surely we will need to send a missive to all those entrusted with keeping the keys. Old alliances will be tested, and those fools will yet regret spreading their defenses so thin. Should these events come to pass, that is. Should be one more readable, I think. And a gold watch. Esteemed Archmage Corino, I humbly ask you in the inner circle to review my request for transfer at the Mage Keep. Working under Archmage Iarodo is, quite frankly, as exciting as stubbing one's toe. The man cares not for anything except tending to his own experiments along with alchemist Regan, while we are left to our own devices. While some of my brethren brethren certainly enjoy this amount of freedom, I would rather continue practicing the art of water magic under greater Mage Ibarro supervision at the Mage Keep's Water Tower. Mage Vocal. Let's see. We can sneak. So that's one of the guards that were involved in the conversation earlier. Let's see. Okay, I didn't know if he stopped or what he did. Now, in the chandelier, there's actually a speed potion up there. You can rope into the ceiling, I think. I don't know, I don't think we're safe here. Yeah. Show you this. This direction here you can go. We're not going to go there. Oh, no, we don't have the key yet. But yeah, there is a key we're going to get soon that will be needed. I don't know why I'm getting slowdowns today. We need to go. We need to go up one level to get some more loot. They do hear the wood.
Who's there?
Oh yeah, that was the guy by the fireplace. We could possibly rope up here. Could have taken the secret too in the fireplace if we wanted to. Yeah, alright. Fine, let's go up and return the strength potion first. Put exactly the way it was. You can choose any potion, of course. I chose the one that was easiest to return. So up here, we just need to get this loot. Sounded like an alert, real quick. Probably wasn't. Alright, so now we're going to go all the way, not all the way down, but back down to this level.
Who troubles?
There's a FireMage. Let's wait for him.
Who's there?
See, we're now heading down towards the dining hall.
Feel the countless walk.
Stack of gold coins, goblet. There's another goblet here, I think.
Something is amiss.
Where is it?
There is a strange presence. Do not flee. Prepare yourself for death, intruder. Darkness shall overtake you.
Should be another.
Call upon the elements to smite you.
Should be another piece of loot here. But I'm not 100% sure where it is. Let's see. Man, I'm getting these slowdowns. It's crazy. I gotta probably reboot my computer. There. Hopefully that's better. Oh. I know there is another goblet here. Somewhere. I thought they were all in the same room. Oh my gosh. It was in the shadowy part of that little nook there, so I didn't see it. Okay. Well, then we can move on. We're not going to get, now going to get all of the... Here's a copy of the castle master key. That's the one we need. There's a lot of patrollers right here. Because this is close to the shrine, that makes sense. So we're now in the dining room, and east of us is the shrine. There's a total of 6 plates that we need.
Is this a vision? A sound.
This is an earth mage.
I shall walk the path.
Wow.
Some.
Risky here, but yeah, oof, shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to go down to the kitchen just
I
yet.
shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
There. 1509. When I prepped this mission, nobody was here, and I was able to take all of them within 10 seconds, and then I left. It's luck of the draw, I guess. So here's the shrine, and there's a readable on it. Greater Mage Saeli's message. Brothers, since the night's performance in the Creative Garden has been called, I intend to spend these dark hours in quiet study among the volumes of the Grand Library. Should anyone desperately need access to Dubige's sepulchre tonight, consider spending the time to rescue the second key from its immurement in our basement lab before disrupting my deserved repose. Kaeli or Saeli. So now we need 2 keys. Key from him and from the basement lab. So there are 2 keys we need to enter the shrine. And we need to return those keys as well. And we have now the castle keys. Or the key. So we're going to head down to the kitchen. Sorry, the basement lab first and get the key there. That's actually the second key.
Who's there? Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
So we're going to take the central staircase. Down to the lab at this point. And we need the master key to do that. Now we're going to lock block this door actually. Nobody uses this door as far as I know. So now we're in a storage room. These are the double doors with the wall lock that I showed you from the dock area. Here's a little elevator or a lift that just, you know, can transport material up and down if it's too heavy for the stairs. There's nothing else in this room. But here are double doors into the basement lab. And we know from the readables that there is something sinister down here. And there is a very, very cool enemy, I think. Here's a healing potion. This door is open. Here he is. So this is some kind of a 2-headed troll or something like that. Or some kind of mutant. It can be killed with conventional weapons, but it has a lot of hit points. Chad can probably point out how much, but I stood on top of desks and hit it with an overhead swing for 5 minutes and used broadheads and whatnot, and it took a long time to take him down. But he's cool. We'll mess around with him a little bit. Here's a little greenery. Not sure if that was an alert. He has some pretty significant, obvious alerts, but... Let's see. Here's a readable. Mage Jabaris. Don't talk to anyone about this for now, but I think I've solved the mystery of the disappearance of several items in our castle. We've been very naive indeed to underestimate the endless greed of the profanes. Several individuals from outside the castle have managed to infiltrate our servants, and are here only to steal the results of our work. My initial suspicions were naturally aimed at the Falstaff wizards, the local criminal guilds, or the communities of corrupt nobles, but a brief, though intense vision of the future the water granted me has allowed me to see a person sneaking through our bricks, with a mastery over shadow and sound, but slowly devoured by blight. Isn't this strangely similar to the prophecies written on the bronze tablets we found in Jalambo? So could this be us, being devoured by blight? In any case, I would like to meet you in 3 days' time after I purify my body and mind for the full moon ritual, so that we can discuss the measures to undertake in order to prevent outsiders from stealing what doesn't belong to them. Okay. 3 coin stacks here. So he does come in here.
No, little no man. someone.
Don't think you can knock him out, can you? Tickle.
Man thing, enough play. Now,
Here, this is where I stood. And then it just stands there in frustration. So this obviously is a limitation for enemies, that they can't take you if you're but a foot above the ground. So this is what I did. Almost looks like it's female with breasts there, or maybe it's supposed to be sort of a two individuals put together.
Man thing, enough play. Now, die.
He's very fast. But not too smart. Very tall, too. Probably 7 or 8 feet. So yeah, he has a little dungeon area there that he, you know, at least studies. We can go through here. Going that way too. He does hear these open and close. Yeah, see that?
Splat. Where man thingies are.
I like the voices, or the voice lines that he gives. It fits with this sort of character.
Would place this. Where's Stu?
Alright, he didn't hear that. Good. This is just a storage area. You can sort of circumvent him if you use these. Great. So here we have the second sepulcher key. So that we're going to need to open the shrine, and we're going to need to return it as well for Supreme. Dragon, that latest test was very satisfactory, but unfortunately not quite good enough. The astral rock fragments that was retrieved from Roxburgh is the key to understanding the telluric energies of this place. Of that I am sure of. We need only dispel the fog of mystery, and all of the secrets of this land will be revealed to us. I know you have doubts regarding Mage Jibaris' presence. He is obviously one of Corino's spies, that parasite. But until I can send him away, you'll have to make do with him. Just make sure you only feed him breadcrumbs so he does not report our discovery to that old snake, Iarodo. So there is definitely tension between Iarodo and Corino. And, you know, rivalry within the Mage Brotherhood. Or the Hand Brotherhood. So we're going to go out there, but there's one more piece of loot here. That isn't a readable on the stand there. There's a ring on the table there.
No splat. Where man thingies are.
Splat. Oh, there was no door there. Okay. Not sure what this is supposed to be, but here's a little silver ring worth 20, 1551. And if we go this way, we can open a little secret door here into the wine cellar. Now I asked on the forums, and there is no way to open this from the other side. If you could open this from the wine cellar side, there might be a way to play the whole mission without taking the old castle master key. Now, we can take it from the table and put it back exactly where it was, so that's not an issue for Supreme, but it would have been a nice challenge. I'm going to leave this open here. Because we're gonna... Or actually, I don't need to, but... Let's see, we're gonna go through... Yeah, we don't need to. We can close that, actually. This door here, we're gonna leave open. Let's see. Here, there's a silver goblet, 1563. If you go up here, go up to the kitchen. We're not going to take this route. But you can. Here's a readable. You would think men as wealthy as these foreigners would allow themselves to eat a king's feast every day, but no, they devour seeds and dry fruits with the occasional awful gruel. How do you want to obtain sour gruel anyway? Or boil seeds in red wine and add an apple? They don't even have mouths. Why are they paying me so much if all they do is eat like inbred plebs? And the others, better not think about it. Sausages and bread and sausages every day. I tried to have them taste our hot cuisine by preparing some galantine and a golden sole with its bourgeois sauce. And they almost threw my cauldron in the face. The only ones who appreciate my food here are the vermin stealing my cheese. Lord DeWall knew what a good meal was. Sauce, flour, and most importantly, tons of fresh cream. So this is the kitchen. There's two, and there's a mage here as well. There's some food, fruits, stuff like that.
Do not
There's
flee.
a guy over here. Help me.
I will see you bleed.
And this is what takes you back to the dining hall. So, fairly well-patrolled area. We're going to lockblock this door, because we're going to return the key, this key, before we come back and return the sepulchre key. So we're going to head out here now. There is a grate up here too that cannot be opened from this side. I'll show you where that's going to be opened from. Let's go up this way. This is where we came up earlier, but now we can go into the boiler room. In the furnace here is a fire arrow, if I remember correctly. No, it's not. There's a mine here. There's not a fire arrow. That's somewhere else. Wait, oh man. There's a mine in here. Here's a grate. Here's a moss arrow. And this switch opens back up into the dock area. So that grate you cannot open from the other side. And this takes you into the kitchen. A little bit better of a location to go out. Just slightly though. Let's see. We can wait here. There's a couple of pieces of loot in the kitchen. 2 gold plates that we're going to need to take.
Is that you, Kevel?
It's difficult to scan these guys fully because they see you. Whenever enemies have their sides to you, it's horrible because they stop and they don't give alerts, and then they... There. 1663. That should be it. I don't think I got an alert there. Oh. We're gonna head up here. These are the chute panels that we saw from above earlier. Now we can head in here. So we've now exited from the kitchen, and we're going to head into the bath area. Now we're going to actually work our way clockwise around the entire premises, top to bottom. We're going to end up in the meditation rooms, and that's where we're going to take the second or the first sepulchre key, and then we will end up right by the shrine, so we can just go in and get the objective there. Now, you might think, well, how is it possible to get through the whole manor without using the master key if that secret door in the basement was open? Well, a lot of these doors are operated by patrollers, so I could have waited out the patrollers. It would have been very tedious, but you can do that, I think. Well, that we can't do. There's only a single piece of loot down here. It's dangerous to make a save here because I haven't closed or locked the door, but now that I'm saying it, maybe I'll remember to relock it. There's 2 water arrows in the pool itself. There's an upper level where people can see you. Diamond there, 2 water arrows. Show you. These are the double doors out to the courtyard. Take a look at the water mage. I like those shots. Are those the same shots as in the original? As in the original game? Maybe they are.
I have eternity to seek you out.
Let me know if that has been changed or not, but...
I call upon the elements to smite you.
So in here it's empty. Just a kitchen area. Here. I locked it, right? Yes, I did. We have a green vase and a purple vase. This door is open. This is the area that I climbed up showed you a way in. Here are 2 little healing fruits. And here you have a valuable book. A little reading nook as well. There's a guard that comes through here, and he has a purse. We are going to head up here, but he uses that door, so... Let's see.
Who goes there?
I think that's the guy. Draw up an arrow and then... There we go. So this is above where we were earlier. I'm going to show you all the paths in this building, but... So I'm going to go this way first. Go up here to begin with. See, no, this isn't the right place. Have a certain route in mind. Here's a ring. Let's see. So this will take you south. It'll actually take you back to the central staircase. The door that we couldn't open when we went past it. So we don't want to head south, right? Because we are in this area now. So we've been to the south. We've done this area. So we want to head north and go around. So here's a... another attic. Or attic sitting room. Gold vase. Worth 100. 2148. And there's a readable. So this is the same one that we read in the basement lab. I'm not sure why there's 2 of them. I think so, right? Wait, no? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Here is the fire arrow in the fireplace. So now we're going to head up here, and this is actually a fairly difficult window to go through. I say that and I do it right away. I had some trouble. So here we might get some slowdowns, but what a beautiful view. The sunset and everything. The sun doesn't move, as far as I know. If we go a little faster, then we light up, so I don't want to do that. We can now go over to the next tower. There's nothing up here of interest. But in this tower, we can find a bottle of wine. There's a goblet with some spilled wine, and another well-hidden goblet up here. So if we then go down, we can come to the next level where we have the tiara. We came up here earlier. We're not going to go down there again. So 2353. Actually going to go over to the next tower via a little ledge. I don't think anyone can see us here. Now we're dark anyway. Let's just do that then. When the frame rate drops a little bit, then crouch run tapping isn't silent anymore. So you can stack a few items and mantle up on this little statue there, but nice little sound cue. I love that. Okay, here's a flute. And before we go down, we're going to head upstairs. Here. Now you got to be a little bit careful because there is some guards up there that can't see us. Purple vase. Gold plate, and then there's a gas arrow on the corner there, and that hit our 2500 loot goal already. Feels pretty early for that. There we go. Now we're gonna head down. Let's make another real save.
Fire burns, water flows, sure it shakes. I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth and burn in eternal fires.
Here. And there's some very clever loot up here. 2 stacks of copper coins, and then there's 1 gold coin stack in the chandelier. Right up here. There's also a mage that has a purse on this level. Is it him? It is him.
Wind blows, fire burns. Is this?
He didn't see me at first. He saw me when he started walking, so let's wait for him.
Yeah.
They hear the wood stepping. Man, he is vigilant indeed. He's a mage, he should be, but...
Wind blows, fire burns, water flows, earth shakes. Yeah.
It was highlighted there, but I couldn't get it. I might just have to wait for him, because we can't get this way. I think. No.
Is this a vision?
What? Oh, he came out there. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to go down. So let's wait for him to come back up then. There he is.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal.
So we are heading now a little bit towards the east, sort of above the gatehouse. Here's a little study, nothing of interest there. This is where we came out earlier, isn't it?
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters.
We're gonna head across here now.
Burn in eternal fires.
Be best to stand here.
Wind blows, fire burns, shake.
So here's a little study with a purple vase. So we are now sort of in the library area, just north of the meditation rooms. Some interesting artwork here. Asian inspired. Oh. Okay, he doesn't see us there.
What vision disturbs me?
There's a book we can read in here. Chapter 8, on the utilization of runes in the creation of spells. Those who studied under the great archmage Iarodo will have these words ingrained into their minds, not sorcery, science. Indeed, the archmage repeated these words like a mantra for a good reason. Creating a spell is no different from brewing a potion, though this knowledge must of course be kept from the commons, as any man can draw symbols he saw in an old tome somewhere on a piece of papyrus and suddenly find it imbued with strange properties. Such accidents are uncommon, and the scrolls created in this fashion are rarely potent, but this should give you, my reader, an idea of what runic magic can do when treated with knowledge. At this point, you should be familiar with runes and their basic properties, although an addendum with the most commonly used ones will be provided at the end of the book. The first mistake a new adept makes is trying to combine too many runes at once into a spell. While not an invalid method, this is reserved for archmages for a reason, as the more complex a spell gets, the more difficult it is to cast, and the higher chances of it backfiring. The second mistake comes from the inability to properly mix and match runes to create synergy. A spell that is made up of nothing but offensive runes will work, yes, but the caster might perish as well. Likewise, combining runes that do entirely different things into a single spell will render it either useless or much too unstable and therefore dangerous. There is no such thing as a universal spell. It is appropriate here to tell an anecdote about one such spell, created by a novice fire adept who thought himself Master Tybalt yet was barely able to light a torch from across a room. One night, upon briefly reading about rune synergy, he created something he called the Delicate Flame. It was imbued with healing properties and shone brightly in the dark, but its elemental essence was still that of a volatile inferno. When his colleague injured his hand while working with laboratory tools, the adept lit up with excitement to try his spell outside invoking it at a fire shrine. One would think the accident was not an accident at all. In any case, he cast his spell on the colleague's arm, scorching it with flames of unnatural silvery color. The poor soul needed weeks to recover, and the arm had to be removed. The trick, you see, is to capitalize on a specific type of rune, and use extra ones for passive effects. In the next chapter, I will discuss one of the most common examples of such synergy, an offensive spell that also raises the caster's vigor. Alright, let's see. So we're going to reload to...
Blows, fire burns, water flows, earth shakes.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
Let's see. Go in here. So here's another piece of loot that we have to skip. It's a lit candlestick, so removing light sources is not allowed for Supreme. So that's the second one that's worth 25 all, so there's 50 total that we have skipped now.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
So we are going to head south from here. See. Good. So this is a junction. You can go down here. You can go north, upstairs, south, multiple ways. So why don't we make a real save and then see if we can make sure we go in the right direction right now. There is a patrolling archmage that has the first sepulchre key that we're going to take. He has a little bit of a different walk, and it sounds like he's coming now.
Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes.
Maybe. So let's first go south here. This is sort of a water area. And there is notice here. Adepts and guards, the elemental magic tamed within these meditation chambers are fragile things, and are not to be trifled with, either by inexperienced or profane hands. Of concern recently has been a game among the guardsmen, in which a few under-matured fellows found childish delight in seeing who could put their hands closest to the molten stone of the flame chamber. Such misadventure will not be tolerated, and culprits of these acts will find themselves instantly evicted from our halls. The gentle purity of these sacred forces will not bear violation. Sayeli.
Herbs me. Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
Let's see. He should be up here now. See, I want to make sure I get that key now, so I'll wait a little bit here.
I shall walk the path
Who's there? Is someone
My
there?
friend, there is a disturbance.
There he is. Okay, he was here. It just took a while. There are a couple of those halberd guards here. Halberdiers.
I shall build shelters.
See that?
Did not know he came in here.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal
There we go. First sepulchre key. Now we have both of those keys. We have all the keys we need, actually.
Hey.
There's a guard in there, too. Here. This is the main library, the upper level. Alright. So now we come to another little tower. Betwixt the boundaries of reality there is this cold, desolate place, only disturbed by dusky winds. What could be best described as a Cyclopean cathedral stood before me, floating above the everlasting darkness. The building was so colossal and so perfectly crafted, it could have been one of Master Builder's fabled works. But nowhere could I find a divine presence within the bleak stones. It was more like an embalmed corpse, preserved and pickled by the will of some unknown gods to eternally wander these hollow wastes. What I found the most disturbing was the landscape. There was only an endless sea of sinister pillars as far as the eye could see, standing before a scorched sky. Then I saw it, a lonely fire upon one of the farthest pillars, with a few huddled black creatures gathered together around it. I could not get any details of these ghoulish illusions, nor could I see what they were doing through the haze of absolute wrongness that surrounded them. They were so far away. But then it hit me. They were staring at me. I awoke as fast as I could. The very origins of this place are still a mystery to me. I could not find any precise mentions of it, just bits and pieces in several forbidden tomes. The ancient philosophers called this plane by numerous names: Inter alia, the architect's nave, the tomb of empires, or more strangely, the house in which gods die. The last name I saw was the perfect way to reflect its hideous nature in a non-whimsical way, the Black Sanctuary. This is no place for the living. Hasdrubal de Flauforth, one necromancer extraordinaire. What a title. So I wonder if this is the location we're going to visit in the last mission. I think that's what it's referring to. Alright. Now there's also a pair of glasses on this floor. There's no way to go up to the ceiling or roof from here. 2752. We're going to go out the door that he came in there now.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
Very, very well designed mission, and sound design too is very good.
Something is a.
Okay. We're gonna. This is a balcony here.
What vision did?
So I'm not really sure if we're able to dodge the guard in that area.
Until my return to the eternal fire.
Let's see. Let's wait here instead.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
Okay. So now we're heading west again. So we're basically now going back from the northeast tower back west so we can get to a north tower that you can't get to in any other way, I think, besides going here. There's a mage in here as well.
Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
Candlestick here.
Huh?
The setting sun caught us. He heard me walking behind him on the stone while he was stationed, but didn't say anything. Well, that's not gonna work. This is better.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn.
There's a little tower. Here's some glasses. He didn't see me there. It's quite surprising, actually. Gonna head into that door. There's a study here. Nice location. There's a readable. Strange how the circles of time seem to flow slower on this perch than down below. The city has many mysteries, but this one eludes my mind. One wonders if this anomaly was known by the previous occupants, and if it was it instrumental to the fortress' reputation? My observations must be conducted. Alright. Very well hidden piece of loot up here. Purse. Worth 12. 2864. Now we gotta head back here. Pretty good timing. So we're now done in this area. The North Tower isn't big, but it's an area that's pretty easy to miss, because it's a little bit maze-like, this castle. The map helps, and it's obviously sort of a circular arrangement to the buildings.
Something.
He was there.
Wind blows, fire burns.
Okay, so now we're gonna head
Earth
south.
shakes, water flows.
Sir?
Oh, there he was. The door in the distance there is through a balcony. There's a piece of loot there, so this is a little bit of a hot spot for guards. There's nothing up on the rafters anywhere. I expected maybe there to be a little bit. And there is a guard that uses this door.
I shall build shelters. What vision? Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes. What vision?
Yeah, he might actually be coming over here if it's him that uses it. I can't remember.
Who trouble? Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes, water flows.
There are some doors that are not locked, that still can be locked with this key. So be a little bit careful just locking every door. If you're Supreme Ghost, because you're not supposed to lock doors that are unlocked.
I shall build shelters from the... What vision?
What vision?
Wind.
Don't think this will work.
Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes.
One of the toughest areas to sneak through this here.
Charge!
How did he see me? He was back turned?
Wind blows, fire burns.
Stop right there!
Yeah, there's something wrong there. He pivots, but he actually sees the opposite direction when he pivots. Maybe he does a 360 or something. I'm not sure.
What's that?
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, yeah.
Earth shakes, water flows. I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
There. There, we're safe. Quite safe, at least.
I shall walk the path till my return to the eternal fire.
So here we can take his purse. First, tense area this. 2894.
I shall walk the
There is
path
a fire
till
arrow.
my return to the eternal fire.
Let me show you. Here. And here is a silver nugget. There's nobody that comes in here, I think.
Wind blows, fire burns, water flows, earth shakes.
Until my return.
Ah, not as dark as I thought I was going to be here. 2944.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
We're going to go in this direction now. Come to some kind of a circular tower. Supposed to be some loot items in here. There it is. And there's also one stuck in the top of the tree. Candlestick. Oops. I meant to fall down there. I'm not sure if I got caught or what I did. I think I'll do that over again just in case. Mage Iterum. One of the scrolls of transmutation is missing. I was about to move a whole shelf worth of scrolls when I noticed that one of them was nowhere to be found. I reviewed the scrolls registry, but nobody took anything in ages. Could this be linked to that grunt that we're missing about a week ago? You may not have heard of it, but apparently one of the mercenaries went to do his own rounds but failed to report to the captain afterwards. They scoured the authorized grounds looking for him to no avail. I personally don't value their lives much, and I don't think these brutes can even read, but mayhaps this is linked somehow. If yes, how did he manage to intrude the ground library without anyone noticing? Mage Oleus. Not sure who this is supposed to be. Is this supposed to be Faradoc? And Faradoc is sort of one of the spies, or maybe does something rogue and takes something to sell it? I'm not sure. Or to smuggle something. Let's see, there is a piece of loot in here that I didn't get. Yeah, a pendant. There we go.
I shall build shelters from
And then a goblet. Difficult to know exactly how far this extends. The tree, I mean. There. Okay. good. Now this actually takes you here, back to the keep. This is where the speed potion is in the chandelier, right? Where we overheard the conversation. So we don't need to go that way, but it links together that area. And we're gonna head down here. This is also a quite tense area. This is just a dead end green area. In here, there's actually a well-hidden purse. 3131.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
Let's see here. I might not be in the right place here. I'm not 100% actually.
Who troubles this place?
Yeah, no, I should be in here. Because there's a water section here that I haven't been to yet.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
There. In here, there's a couple of water arrows. At least one water arrow. And there's a gold candlestick.
I shall walk the path till my return to the eternal fire.
Can't drop here.
I shall walk the path till my return to the eternal fire. Is this a vision?
It's easier if we drop here actually than anything else.
Wind blows, fire burns, water flows.
Something
That you can't do.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal fire.
Something there.
There was a guard too. Many guards here.
Something is amiss.
Wow.
I shall walk the path until my return to the eternal.
Yeah, no, this is almost impossible. I might just have to take the staircase back down
build
here.
shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires. Wind blows, fire burns, earth shakes,
Probably the
water
best idea from the
flows.
begin with.
I shall build shelters from the winds.
Now let me show you this area. We don't need to go this way. Oh, we do, because there's a goblet here. But we don't need to leave through that door. this takes you back to the library that we first entered through the window. So that we obviously don't need to use now, but that's how you close that loop.
I shall build shelters from the winds.
Okay. In here there's a moss arrow, sort of the earth room. Yeah, that does not work.
I shall walk the path to my
Imagine Iron Manning this mission. Oh, Ghost. Iron Ghosting, I mean. Little study nook, couple bottles. Now this area here, will take you back to the southeastern doors. These doors. To the courtyard right above the stables. We don't need to go there. We need to go this way.
Wind blows, fire burns, water flows, earth shakes.
Let's see here. This is also a tough area. We have to go back to the shrine area.
Should our paths cross again?
There. There are two patrollers in here. A mage and an archmage. Did I close it? Sure did. And the guards, the crossbowmen.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn eternal fires.
Mage goes
First, this filthy lord tries to seize our possessions, and now this. Our future seems uncertain.
Might have an opening here.
Hey.
Well, hey to you too. I did not mean to take that paper. Archmage has a purse, but I rather want to use this opportunity to get in here. All the way in here, and then in here is a fairly hidden piece of loot. It's above this brazier. We're gonna close the gates, of course.
Divide by one of the columns. We shall be sorry. Should our paths cross again?
Let's make another real save. What?
What's this?
The winds are not at peace. There. Here's a goblet. 3261. Then we have to get back down, and the best way I've found to do that is just to...
I have been deceived.
Yeah, that was an alert. Difficult to know where they are in their patrols, so we're gonna have to wait. Okay, well that was pretty good if I had known that he was there. There we go. So now we're headed down to the sepulcher. Now there's nothing really to worry about down here. I thought this would be sort of a trap or a puzzle area, but it's not. Beach.
Finally, I have you. Under better circumstances, I'm sure I could have gotten a tidy sum of money out of it.
There we go. We have loot and amulet.
Thought I saw something.
Okay, well this is tough to get out here. We have to close the...
Fire burns, water flows, earth shakes.
To close the gates, of course, too. So I'm gonna go ahead and return the sepulcher keys.
So great a disturbance on a day of
No. The archmage sees me from the side there. It's just he's stopped, so he won't prioritize the first alert. So besides returning some items now, we're done with the old castle. So we just have the new castle left.
Thought I saw something.
Wait a tiny bit, maybe.
So great a disturbance on a day of meditation.
There we go. Now we have to, of course, actually lock them too.
Tries to seize our possessions, and now this, our future seems
There.
uncertain.
Okay, I'm gonna wait for that archmage to come by so I can get his purse. Safe here. We've closed the gates. Actually.
So great a disturbance on a day of meditation.
Oh, okay. The lock operates the switch
great
too.
a
It
disturbance
does.
on a day of meditation.
Right? If you hear that.
Thought I saw something.
Now it's down.
Come on now, come on!
Yeah, well, the switch might be in a different position, but the whole thing is locked up. That's the point. The gate is locked up and closed. I took his 30.
So
Yes.
great a disturbance on a day of meditation.
shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
Okay. So in order to get back up, we're going to simply do this. Here we are safe.
I shall build shelters in the wind. Be still.
That was the archmage.
Wind blows, fire burns. The winds are not at peace.
Let's see. It's actually, he actually has a cool attack.
Darkness shall overtake.
I don't know if you can dodge it. Not really sure, but it's an awesome attack. Oh, come on. There we go.
I shall build shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters. What vision disturbs?
So this is the first sepulcher key that we're going to return now. Put it right there. Drop back. And then I can do that.
Who's there?
Can't do that.
Ah! Ah!
Alright. If we hit the rope too far down, we just have to wait for this guy to go. Hit the rope too far down, it counts it as a drop instead, so you take damage. Alrighty, so we have the old castle key and we have the second sepulcher key to return.
I shall build shelters.
Gotta love the dark engine. Let's see. Was that a horse alert? It might be. There, that's pretty good. Then we can go back.
What vision?
Yeah.
Fire burns, blows, earth shakes. I shall walk the path.
And now this.
What's going on?
Alright. Let's wait for him.
Shelters from the winds, feel the countless waters, see the vast earth, and burn in eternal fires.
I shall walk the path till my return to the eternal fire.
Did you see something over there?
Oh, now he comes. Oi.
Is this a vision?
Is it upstairs?
Earth burn eternal fires.
So he looked like he would see me, but he didn't.
First, this filthy lord tries to seize our possessions. And was that the curse? First, this filthy lord tries to seize our possessions, and now this. Our future seems uncertain.
Okay. You're welcome. Alright, so then I'm going to return the key, actually. There. Don't need that key anymore because we have lock blocked the doors we need to leave down here. Right? There.
Split. Well. Move.
Just wanted to check that he actually wasn't alerted already.
What makes so?
Oh, see, they do hear. That's proof. Talked about that, I think, in... Yeah, I talked about that and kept away from view. That moving the banners actually make noise. We can take a look at the dungeon a little bit more. It's working with wheels here. He's stopped now. I don't want to alert him accidentally.
What place this? Where's do? What makes up? What place this? Where's do? Doi. What place this? Where's do?
He doesn't hear it when he's in the dungeon, then I guess. There.
Well, man thingies are.
That, he actually alerted when he was stopped there. See that?
Someone.
This is another background tune from the Dark mod, I think. They've used quite a few of them. Not overused them, but used them effectively. Then we can leave and head into the small castle.
Wind blows, fire burns, water flows, earth shakes.
That door is now locked, right? We're going to follow the mage, because he actually goes out the way that we're going to go. I don't think he saw us there. So now you can see the gate is open. Nice. Crossing this is actually a bit difficult. So here is a guard inside. Make a will save. Here he pivots around every once in a while. That is now open. We're not going to close it because we didn't open it. Here's the third and last copy of the castle master key. I think he pivots anyway. So the other switch there will open this gate, which will then take us to the small castle. But in order to pass him, we're going to head up here. Convenient roof beams for us to use. Drop here. 3 coin stacks and some single coins, or double coins rather. There's a flash bomb here and a deer leg. And then you also have a broadhead arrow and a rope arrow in these 2 foot lockers, but we don't need any of that. Yeah, he does pivot. To drop, you can drop safely onto sort of the edge here. Thought you could at least.
Ah!
Maybe you can do it like that. Or maybe not.
Who goes? I hear you there!
Okay.
What was that? Did you?
Alright, well that works. Just gotta wait for those other guards. It's not really much of a ledge to land on. I guess maybe we could have landed on the torch, but then we have to make sure we...
I don't see why I should have to be the one down here in the cold and the dark and the damp.
There. Finally. Do that. Then we can do that again. The fact that he doesn't notice that is just absolutely baffling, but hey. Okay, then we're back here, but now these doors have opened. They open when we talk to Iarodo, I think. There we are. Time for real save. Let's see. So in the small castle, you have a big courtyard here. There's nothing really of interest. There's some water arrows in the well. But then you have a dining room and storage area to the north. That's fairly empty. There's a no, not a conversation, but there's, I guess, a readable or something in there. And then surrounding that, you have several towers. One to the east, southeast, southwest, and northwest. And there are several stairs up. You can go out to the streets, I think, through the main doors, but we're going to use a side door here, close to the laundry. So we're going to head in right here, and then we're going to go around counterclockwise, and then head out. But upstairs, you can actually go all the way up onto the outer rampart walkway, and there's a barracks area here that can be a little bit tense. And Captain Regalio, that we talked about earlier, is in the southeast. We're going to head there first, actually.
Who's there? Hello?
What? That was a guy upstairs, of all places. So, okay, well, in here, all there really is this bottle. There's also a couple of rod heads in the walls here. And this is the big switch for the main gates. Now, there is I think the butler comes in here. We're gonna wait for him. I think he was the guy that just left. You can't go anywhere else from here besides upstairs. doors now. He usually reacts to the table as well, though. He gets mad.
Who's there? Hello?
It's so weird because some ladders you can attach from any distance. Yeah, no, this isn't. We just have to wait for him to leave. Terrible timing. I think this is the head button. There's one guard up here. There's a readable in this room. Right here. Curse you, Drofric. You promised guard duty here in Highwatch Castle, but would be the gig of our lifetime. It's for a group of foreigners who have more gold than the Baron, you said. It's the most lavish castle I've ever seen, you went on. I should have known better. We move in, and what do we find? Same old crap we see everywhere. That's what. Rotting wood mold rats. You would think they'd at least feed us some exotic dishes. Bah, porridge is the closest thing we've ever gotten to couscous. I'm done with you, Taffer. Once your contract here expires, you're on your own. So they're not happy with the conditions in the small castle, at least. Alright, now we're going to head all the way to the top here. On this level you have a flash bomb. In this area you have a newspaper. The City Tribune, 9/29/33. Infamous crime lord DeWall arrested. DeWall, the well-known city warden, was arrested yesterday by the Baron's police with the help of the Order of the Hammer. The assault was personally led by Captain Pearsall, who told the Tribune today. We've read this, haven't we? Yes, we have. Gems of Sarnoth. Same thing. Here's the pooper. Here, we can move west. We're not going to do that. But that would take you this way. We're going to go the other way. We're going to head up here. This is Captain Regalio. He has a purse. There's a fire arrow in the fireplace. There's a gold candlestick here. Silver candlestick. Then we're going to read two things. Captain Regalio. You have seen their decadence. Every surface is adorned with foreign fabrics, and the air stinks of imported spices and the lingering wisps of their perfumes. All funds that might have gone to refurbishing our own castle has been siphoned to fund their mystic indulgence. We have not invented a treacherous plot. Nay, we have been tasked with sabotage by one of the Baron's closest allies. It is an act of patriotism to cast out these foul conjurers. Fiennes would not have made this request if he didn't have the Baron's blessing, or if he was unsure of the outcome. He must know that the rest will fold after Iarodo is dealt with. So it seems like there is going to be an invasion and a throwing out of the mages. Maybe that's when they all move to the actual mage towers from Thief Gold. Captain, there's still no sign of Faradoc. It's been a week now, and you know how it is. Drunkard's probably left the castle and is drinking his weight in some downtown dive. The men have grown annoyed at taking turns watching the docks and flat out refused to do it when I reminded them of their duties today. What do you want me to do? Sergeant Sloan. Alright, that's all we need up here. There's nothing else to do down here. Here's my departure, I think. After this guard. No, we're actually not going to go this way because I don't want to trigger. There are 2 guards there. Start a conversation. So I'm not going to trigger them to start patrolling because I think one will go into the barracks. And that is not in my best interest. We're going to head down here instead. He goes up there, okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the dining area.
What I see there.
Just here.
Oh well. Must do nothing.
Why do we always have to dust the furniture during the night?
What's that?
It's just some food items in here. There is a readable. Guards, I would like to remind you... Oh, this is the same one we read before. That's right.
Hurry! Someone get him!
Couple of duplicates. So this takes you out to the gatehouse area.
Over here! He has a sword!
And then in this area there is... That's the window we saw in from earlier. Storage room.
Come on now, come on!
With nothing really of interest. We're instead gonna head up here, and I think we can wait here. There's also some fruit and some veggies in the dining area. There's a loaf of bread, but nothing else. So we're gonna head in here now. So this is the barracks.
Hello?
Hello. He's checking his winnings, maybe. Five stacks of coins. And there is a couple of things here. Readable. To Klebe. I think we should do what the captain said. All the boys are on his side and the mages won't know what hit him. The only fear I had was that we would lose the pay in barracks, but we'll be guarding the fort all the same, as it turns out. Even the food and servants will stay, and we won't have the angry nobles throwing the fruit at the walls now. Just because we worked for mages from the start, don't change it. They always talked that crap to us, so I don't care. From Jeep. That letter didn't sound like it came from an intelligent person, for sure. Alright, so, there's two... Oh, this is empty. There's a mine here. about upstairs when I started my... This takes you out to a little balcony. You can leave this way if you want to. This is pickable, and it has a healing potion, I think. This has a couple of broadheads. And one of these two is also pickable. This one, and has a speed potion. Now here is a couple of...
Sir?
Oh, 3 stacks of coins there.
Who's there?
There's one that's difficult to get. You can't see it hardly. Take it from that side, maybe.
Hello?
Alright, fine. Let's wait for him to leave then. There's a lot of wood that alerts people. It's strange how wood is louder than stone. Because walking at the speed on stone does not alert anyone. Maybe if you're very close to them, but... There, 35. 70. Read this one. Joff. You'll see working here ain't too bad. Mages can be a bit weird sometimes, but they're good people. Don't pay attention to the drunk Egypts from the barracks outside the castle. They just longing for the old days when the castle belonged to the city and Fines and his garrison had his garrison there because the Blackbrook troops were close by. They hate that the mages bout it and are doubtful of the mages' intentions, but the pay is good, so I can't complain much, and the food is pretty tasty, and the barracks are not too bad, only the bed a bit uncomfortable sometimes. But are you a man or are you not, Weiler? Here is a smoke bomb, too. Let's go east here. This is above where we were. Here's a balcony, too. And then this takes you over to underneath that tower where the archer was stationed. This is a very interesting tower. It's just an assembly of paintings and then some kind of homemade electrical system the guards have made. It seems like they're all sort of wires are converging onto this statue.
Hello?
Not sure what this is supposed to indicate here, but
who's there?
It doesn't look very safe. Upstairs now. Actually, there is nothing up here of interest. You have a broadhead in each of these, and you have 2 more broadheads here and 1 in the wall here. And some codes that I don't think mean anything. Where you can input codes. Let's listen to a conversation.
Hey, can you smell this?
Smell what?
Oh, I don't know. Smells like some dead poodle or something. Smells like it's been dead for 2 weeks, if not more.
Don't smell a thing.
Stop chaffing me. You really don't smell that stench?
Now that you mention it, it's you. You stink! Try and bathe sometime. Dirty lowlives, I swear.
Yeah, this guy starts patrolling. Alright, so we don't need to go up there at all, but I wanted to show it to you. We're going to head west and out after this guy.
Something move there?
Not sure what that sound is.
Who goes there?
Sounds like somebody opens a wall panel. Can somebody explain what that is? Never heard that before. Okay, anyway. Here's a flash bomb. Just a very old abandoned tower here. So now we are headed... Should be heading into this tower here. I missed something here. No, I don't think you can get up here. This way. Here's some attic. Old abandoned bedroom. There's a goblet here. There's also a bedroom here that is pickable. We have to pick that if we want all the loot. Here's another goblet, and there's a readable too. Gauspert. The pay is good, hay and food abundant, but we don't feel safe no more because of all these crazy people outside yelling till the wee hours and booing us every time we go out. We know Highwatch Castle is infamous for having resisted sieges, trebuchets and other engines, but the true problem here is that we're afraid of getting snatched once we're out when our service is over. And to make matters worse, some fanatics caught Edwina, the flower lady, after her delivery and chased her until she entered the Weeping Angel, when they promptly tormented her all night long. Such barbarity. Thankfully, the police arrived. Her harassers were arrested at midnight and hanged before noon. Really, the winter's festivities are giving the judges wings. I've never seen them give such a sentence this fast. But now, folk are thinking aldermen and mages are bedfellows, and the watchdogs have received the order not to disperse the crowds that continue to amass near the walls ever since these stupid pamphlets disfigured the ramparts. The mages don't seem to care, but as usual they don't seem preoccupied with anything else in their books and magics. We'd like to talk to them about all this, let them know that we'll be forced to go if that continues, but they don't even look at us. This can't be relocked here. So up here, this is pickable, and I think has 2 water arrows. My sweet Lorenzo, such a delight to finally hear from you. I'm so glad you're doing well, with all that news from the city that reach us. Such strange times we're living in. Things here in Puente Alto were quiet as always. Your father got a new job on a boat, catching prawns in a net. Sometimes I worry about him in his old age, but I know he's strong as an ox. Both of you are, my boys. Those jellied squeals you sent us were delicious. Such peculiar aftertaste. I'm enclosing a package of dried grapes you so like. This year's harvest wasn't big, but we'll make it. Come visit us in the summer, yes? Eleni misses you a lot. All of us do. Be safe out there and remember to wear your under tunic. Love you, my boy. Alright, here is a silver vase worth 50. There's also a noisemaker arrow, I think, in this pickable footlocker. Let's see. This takes you back. We opened that door from the other side earlier. Let's wait for the guard to come by. Okay, no, we don't have to then. So now we're going to head downstairs. We are now made the complete loop on the second floor. We're going to head down now to the head butler's area. Real save. Headley Rentilis, head butler. Go in here. And here's another lit candlestick. It's a gold one, so that's 50 more we have to skip for Supreme. There's a silver goblet and a bottle here, 36.98. And a readable. Headley. It's not Fine's military acumen that I doubt. I knew him by reputation during the Arcane campaign in 24. The men have been quietly surveyed, and the majority are willing, including those who have joined since the Hand Brotherhood purchased the castle. My concern is the mystery surrounding these mages. If they are so reclusive that Fines can solicit us to have Iarodo overthrown without fear of discovery, one wonders what arcane powers they are keeping hidden from us. Their young adept Cordado summons fireworks as a folly. What sort of incendiary attacks might they have reserved for conspirators? That's a good question. Alright, here's a window. You can go back to the courtyard that way. Okay, so now we're coming down to the laundry area. Not much of interest here, really. A storage room. This is back up to the courtyard. Washing some clothes in there. Well, this is laundry, so it makes sense. Let's head up here. That's the sound I heard earlier. There is a door here that slides open. There's the exit door. We just have a couple pieces of loot left to take, and we are done. Definitely possible to. It's definitely possible to mantle up there. I've done that before. 3 stacks of coin. And we can drop like this. So this room here doesn't have anything else. 3727, that's the max loot for Supreme. There we go. Check our inventory. Yep, we have everything we need to have. Awesome. Now people have left here, so it's now later, I guess. The only thing that's different, or that's added, I guess, is these parts of the streets over here. There's now a Hammerite stationed by the jukebox. That's the only difference. I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify. That he's shut down festivities. All right. Then we are finished. So that should be a successful Supreme Ghost of Mission 9 Arcane Sanctum. It wasn't a successful Perfect Supreme because we skipped 3 lit candlesticks, 2 silver and 1 gold. One was in the canal on the dock, one was in the old castle, and one in the small castle. So time 1 hour, 50 minutes, 57 seconds. So we skipped 100 loot then, 50 plus 25 plus 25. We picked 8 out of 9 pockets. I did not pick the old castle key from one of the head guards that came up to Iarodo's room. We picked 1 lock. That was the door to the bedroom at the very end, at the top level of the southwest tower in the small castle. No backstabs, no knockouts, no damage dealt, taken, no healing taken, nothing and nobody killed. And we have spent 14 hours, 3 minutes and 43 seconds and taken 25,884 loot. We've dealt no damage and received no damage. So there we have it. Alright, so overall, the pros of this mission is it's very, very well designed. It's not every day you get a castle this great. And to get a smaller castle on top of that, which actually has quite a bit different feel to it, I think, is great. I love the city. I love the festivities in the city and the moat surrounding the castle. The fact that you get into the castle, 3 or 4 different ways is always good. The maps are good enough and precise enough for you not to get completely lost. The interior is a little bit confusing, and quite a few of the hallways are quite similar in texture, but it is a castle after all. Why would you make that different in different areas? Now, I do think that the plot twist is very obvious. Don't think that's a surprise to many people, that it's not going to be as easy to go in and just convince him. But I do like that, because you can't take any loot to begin with, so it makes it seem like you're friends with these, but then you have to loot them afterwards. So, yeah. Now, my overall complaint, which is kind of a trend in some of these missions, is that I feel it's a little bit on the easier side. Yeah, there are some tense areas, but you can always just wait out the patrols and whatnot. And if you don't ghost it, there shouldn't be any real problems. Maybe the basement lab with the 2-headed giant there. So that's my main concern with the mission. Other than that, I wish maybe there was something else besides just picking up this item and leaving. You need to get 3 keys to get it, and once you find those, there's nothing else really to think about. since it is a mage mission, I wish that there was something that involved a little bit more thinking on the player's part. Maybe some puzzles or something that was a little bit more, I don't know how to put it, a little bit more challenging than just getting keys. Maybe if there was something in the shrine itself that required your thinking ability, it doesn't challenge the player very much besides just regular sneaking or regular blackjacking if you're not ghosting. So, but overall I enjoy the mission a lot, but it's not a mission that I will be dying to replay. There are other missions in this campaign that stand out to me as better. So I will give this an overall 8.5 out of 10. I feel that's a fair score. So it does end up in the lower half, actually, out of the campaign as a whole. Let me know what you think about it, if that's a fair assessment or not. So yeah, we will move on to the next and last mission in this campaign, the Black Parade. I'm not sure when I'll get to that, probably a couple of weeks. A little bit busy the next few weeks, so we'll see. And thank you for joining in if you were in chat for the premiere, or just if you're watching. Thank you very much. Appreciate it as always. Drop a comment, and yeah, look forward to hearing from you. Have a good night, everybody.